Hello, friends. My name is James Hopkins, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends Bryan Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hopkins. On this show, we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous.
The New York Jets this past Sunday scored at least 20 points on offense, turned over the ball 0 times, and held the opposing team to less than 250 total yards of offense. When this has been done in NFL history, teams who do this are 750 and one. One being the New York Jets this past Sunday to the most talentless team in the NFL in the New England Patriots. What an absolute dumpster fire. And I'll let you go, Jack, but I will say one more thing. This is the highest expectations that the New York Jets have had in the last 25 years, and the lowest expectations the New England Patriots have had in the last 25 years. And both teams are 2-6, and they split the divisional matchup 1-1 this year. Go ahead. This is Parlay-Vous, by the way, and the New York Jets are awful.
So, I don't have much to say. I got about 6 words. I told you so. And go Pack Go.
Okay. Love that for you. So, I too am now, once again, as I have many a season as a New York Jet fan, reading mock drafts before Halloween, rooting against the New York Jets every week that they are playing, and hoping once again for a new savior. At this point, with this team, with this organization, this is a colossal organizational failure from the top, from Woody Johnson, all the way down to whoever picks up the garbage in MetLife Stadium after New York Jet football games. From top to bottom, everyone involved in the organization is a massive, colossal failure this season. You look around, and I know we talked about this last week, Bryan, you weren't here. Last year it was, we're a quarterback away. This is all Zach Wilson's fault. The offense is in shambles. Zach Wilson can't play quarterback. He just simply can't do it in the NFL. Last season at this point, the New York Jets were 4-3, I believe, maybe 4-4. Zach Wilson had 7 interceptions. On the entire year, not through 8 weeks, on the entire year. Now, obviously, Jets are 2-6. Aaron Rodgers has already thrown 7 interceptions. And he's not as mobile as Zach Wilson is and was when escaping the problems that no matter where we seem to plug guys, Tyron Smith went from an all-pro to a turnstile seemingly overnight. You look at this team across the field, all 3 phases of the game. There's maybe 10 or 11 all-pros on the team across everywhere. We got rid of Rob Saleh. We brought in the Hall of Fame quarterback. We brought in Devontae Adams. We got the Hassan Reddick situation squared away. We have Will McDonald with 8.5 sacks, tied just behind Dexter Lawrence for the most sacks in the NFL, a half sack shy of Dexter Lawrence. You got all these guys. We got all of Rodgers' buddies. We got Nat Hackett in. Now Nat Hackett's out. Todd Downing came in. Todd Downing changed a lot of things in the first game, and the offense looked better. They were all things Rodgers historically doesn't like pre-snap motion and breaking the fucking huddle at a realistic time. Breaking the huddle with 15 seconds left on the play clock. Things like that. Aaron just really doesn't love to do. Aaron's fucking checking the calls at the line anyway. He's doing whatever he wants, and it's consistently not working. Once again, all year with this team, we have them breaking the huddle with 9 seconds left on the play clock. Even Sunday, they break the huddle on a 2-point conversion where it mathematically makes sense to go for it, so I'm not having that argument with anyone. At that point, the difference between being up 4-5 or 5-6, whichever it would have been, was 22 to 17. So it would have been the difference between being up 5 or being up 6. There is no difference between being up 5 or being up 6. But you go for 2, now you're up 7. Now a touchdown will retire you. That, I believe, is how the math was working out in that situation. So you go for it, obviously, but we break the fucking huddle with 10 seconds, 11 seconds left on the play clock. Now, immediately, Rodgers is coming up to the line to change something. By the time he fucking gets back, we can't figure it out. We get blown for a delay of game. Now we're going for a 2-point conversion from the 7 fucking yard line, and the play was dead to rights from the beginning. The offense, everyone knew in the stadium knew the Patriots were bringing. Bless you.
God bless.
Thank you.
Everyone in the stadium knew the Patriots were bringing fucking man pressure, cover 0. They don't have enough guys to block it. It's got to be out early. Rodgers whips out a slant. That, guess what? Would have worked if we were going from the 2. Doesn't work when you're going from the 7. The only answer I have for this team at this point is it's just quite simply that they are the New York Jets. There's no, on paper, this team should be better than they are. I'm not saying playoff team or Super Bowl contenders, but they are a whole hell of a lot better than 2-6 on paper. But for some reason, it's not working out. Now, I will say this. Greg Zuerlein owes the New York Jets no fewer than 3 wins.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No fewer than 3 wins. And still, I would have cut the guy weeks ago, but now they still refuse to cut him. They put him on the IR. They gave him the grace of putting him on the IR, which means he's out for at least 4 weeks. They signed 2 guys to the practice squad. They both made it through tryout 1 today. They're both going to kick tomorrow. I believe they're both going to kick up until the game, and we're going to pick a kicker on Sunday, whoever's kicking better. Here's the kick in the ass, though. Boys, fellas, do you know who competed with Greg Zuerlein in camp for the kicking job?
Starter somewhere else in the league?
Yeah.
Hold on. Inside the same division?
No,
Inside the same conference?
I don't believe so, no. He's been on a bunch of teams.
Brandon McManus.
No.
I was my guess.
Austin Seibert.
Who is kicking field goals for
know-
the Commanders?
Do you know who the number 1 kicker in football is in the NFL?
Probably.
It's
Austin
Austin
Seibert.
fucking Seibert. He's missed 1 field goal, perfect on extra points. Let's just look at Sunday. Forget about the other 2 games where Greg sucked the win out of the New York Football Jets. Sunday, we get a missed extra point, 2 missed field goals, makeable ones, like definitely within mid-40s at the longest. I forgot. I think it might have been 36 and 44, but I could be wrong on that. Missed 2 field goals, missed an extra point. Then we get to a point twice in that game from around the Patriots 40, the Jets punted because they didn't fucking trust the man to go out there. So that's 3, 6, 7, potentially up to 13 fucking points that were left on the field because Greg Zuerlein can't do what Greg Zuerlein's supposed to do. I don't understand why this move wasn't made coming out of London.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of London, he needed to go. Him and Bob. Bob went. Greg stayed
Yeah.
for some reason. They're just the Jets, man. It's the New York Jets. This is the life that we're doomed to live. We all know. It's, we just finished the get really excited part of the cycle. Now we're going back to mock draft season, talk yourself into next season. Then eventually we'll get to dominating the back page of the New York Post all off season. Bunch of fans getting really excited and giving the team an A+ draft grade and A+ free agency grade. And then we'll get back to fucking, maybe we have a shot this year by fucking late August, early September. And it'll just be continuous kicks in the nuts and dick until you die. You stop watching the NFL, or you just simply bite the bullet and follow a new team like our good friend Nick did a few years ago with the Commanders. Look at Nick. Nick went to the Commanders because they were the Washington football team at the time. It was because the Jets drafted Zach Wilson. He said, I've seen enough. This kid's going to be garbage. I don't even want any part of it. I'm going to the Washington football team. They don't even have a fucking team name. They've been historically garbage also my whole life. No one can say that I jumped to like the Chiefs or something.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jaden Daniels looks awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not us. Maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's not the coaches. It might just be the stink of the green and white. But I think it's Woody Johnson. Because I think I was telling you, there's only been one guy who's been a constant in the last 24 years. Many players have come through Florham Park and what used to be Cortland, New York. And, like, they used to be in Cortland is what I mean, in training camp. Many guys have come through and played. Many guys have come through and coached. Many guys have come through in the front office, in the general manager positions, in the president of football operations, and all these other things. And they've had varying results. There's only been one guy who's been in charge the entire time. That is Woody Johnson. Since the year 1999, when Woody Johnson purchased the Jets, I believe they are 31st in points per game. They're like 26th in wins. Obviously, everyone knows they haven't made a playoff game in fucking 13 years. It's just been abysmal, and there's simply no other answers at this point. I've run out of answers on what you do to fix the Jets. There's no fixing them this season. There's nothing. The only thing I'm really conflicted now with, as like a fan of the Jets and watching the game on Sunday, is Do you bench Aaron Rodgers and let Ty God go the rest of the way? Or do you continue to play Aaron Rodgers and let him live in this living hell that he's created for himself? Because guess what? A lot of the blame could go on him too. Because now it's obviously the Jets' fault for doing it, but they married themselves to Aaron Rodgers. What do you want, Aaron? You want Alan Lazard? Great. We'll pay him probably $10 million more than he's worth. You want Lazard? Great. You want your boy Nat Hackett, who just proved he couldn't coach his way out of a brown paper bag? You got it. He's going to call the plays for you.
Right.
That's your fucking guy. Who else do you want? You want fucking Tyron Smith to play left tackle? Great. Oh, you want Dalvin Cook wants to play with you? Awesome. We'll bring him in. We'll go get Devontae Adams. Like I said, we'll go get Hassan Reddick. How many more? Is that the problem? Is that there's still like 48 more spots on the team that are guys that didn't used to play with Aaron?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe like David Bakhtiari's busy? Do you think Donald Driver could throw the fucking can throw the pads on, dude?
Mercedes Lewis is fucking on the Bears, dude. I mean,
Maybe we need him.
No, I get it. And like I was saying to you before when we were off air, the real feel of a lot of Jets fans seems to be just complete disconnection, just kind of doing what it is. And it does kind of suck because I do feel like there's been so many ups and downs, but I do feel like when the Jets wound up getting Rodgers and then Adams came through, and it really started coming together, there was some serious hope, but it does kind of feel like this was the one last thing that kind of just set it off and have Jets fans just kind of being like, we're just going to sit and watch, basically. There's no reason to get emotionally invested in it at all, it seems like.
Do you remember the advice I gave Giants fans at the start of the year?
No.
Start watching guys like Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Which one of those dicks can come ruin their career at one Jets drive? That's what I'm looking forward to now.
I mean,
Could it be
honestly,
Dion and Shedeur? It can't get any crazier for the New York Jets than if they bring all three Sanders to the team. Give me Shiloh's dumbass too. Give me Dion, Shiloh, Shedeur. Let's fucking do that in New York. Let's see what happens there. Let's get the second coming of Geno Smith.
I mean, hey man, don't talk about Geno like that.
No, that's actually like many analysts. That's his NFL comparison right now.
Old
Coming-
Geno or young Geno?
Like coming out of college.
Like Geno coming out,
Geno
like from
coming
Cal,
out of college, from West Virginia.
West Virginia. I thought
Same
he was
colors.
Cal. My
Same
bad.
colors.
Same colors.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like that's his NFL pro like comp right now is Geno. A lot of people comparing, and it's because of like similar like playmaking abilities, or like can put the ball everywhere, but doesn't have an arm. He doesn't have a Josh Allen arm. He's not gonna knock your dick off with a deep ball, but he's got an NFL arm, and he's smarter with the football. Can run, but it's not part of his game really. Like there's a lot of reasons, size wise, a lot of things that people are comparing to Geno with. It's not a lazy one like when they compared Penix to Vic last year. I forgot what former player did that. Not even close to the same player. But yeah, that's where we're at now. We're just watching mock drafts. It's a nightmare. I see a lot of people talking crazy on Sauce Gardner. He hasn't played well this year. He looked spinning around like a top on that big play at the end of the game that cost the Jets the win ultimately. But to start saying, he's no good, you can't pay him, trade them now. All these guys on Jets, because this is what Jets fans do. Panic.
Yeah,
We want to panic. We want to fucking get really excited positively and really excited negatively at the drop of a hat. There's no like middle ground. There's no room for nuance with a lot of these Jets fans because a lot of them are fed up and sick of it, and I do get it. I mean, on top of that, fuck Woody Johnson. 2 weeks ago, Jets season ticket holders got mailers for down payments for next season. Tickets are going up 24%.
Really?
Since 2019, tickets have increased almost 60%, despite the fact that they're like a 33% winning percentage over that time. Like, out of control. Just keep beating these guys in the balls. We were going to go tomorrow night, the Halloween game. We're not going. Fuck that.
No.
We'll save that money. We'll go see a Knick game.
We'll go see a team with some fucking self-respect, dude.
It's actually probably
with some
the worst.
goddamn dignity. Yeah, and I won't have to go to work tired on Friday.
But yeah, I was gonna say, not that the Giants are much better, to be honest with you.
The Giants were supposed to suck this year, and the Jets had Super Bowl
Right.
aspirations, and they have the same record. And I'll tell you right now, I think the Giants are set up in a better position. Giants have a coach, and Giants have the right coach and GM, in my opinion, going forward.
Yeah, but what we always talk about, the Daniel Jones conundrum is still just, what do you do? Like, what is?
Trade for Matt Stafford.
Is it over? trade for Matt Stafford. But
If it were only that simple.
yeah,
If it were only that simple, I mean, how about you go look at the tape?
What do you mean? I'm all in on the Giants trading for Matt Stafford. I don't think the Rams are just going to... Puka and Cooper came back last week. Puka and
I
Cooper...
know.
First of all, I hate this shit too. Like, if I was deeper into fantasy, like I have been in years past, I'd be really mad. They say Puka might go, he might not go, he's going to be a game-time decision, and then he goes for 11 for 100-plus and a touchdown.
I did the same thing, man.
Suck
Yeah.
my dick, dude. What is that bullshit? But yeah, all of a sudden Cooper and Puka come back and they're a good football team. I don't see why they would move on from Stafford. First of all, if you're Stafford at this point, you're 36, 37 years old, you're on year 14 in the league, you won a Super Bowl, you've done it all, you owe nobody anything in this game, one of the most well-respected quarterbacks of this generation. If they said, hey, we're going to ship you to the Giants, if you're Stafford, what if you just say, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to move my family. My kids, he's got kids. My kids are going to school here in LA, like in wherever in Southern California. Like, I don't want to do that. So, no, if you do that, I'm retiring. Like, that's the thing that people forget. You could always do that, especially with a player that's nearing 40, that's done everything he needs to do in the league. It's not like going to the Giants is a better prospect for Matt Stafford, like leaving Detroit was. He didn't want to leave Detroit, but he got to a point where you had to do what you had to do. You know, he didn't want to uproot his family from Michigan. He loves that city. It was hard enough to get him out of that fucking shithole. Why would he leave a situation that's actually better for him? I agree, the Giants should at least make a phone call or something. I think you'd be a great win-now bridge quarterback. I just don't know if you're Matt Stafford, what kind of sense that makes. That's really what it comes down to.
You know who else kind of makes sense? A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying trade for Jameis for how long?
I think he's.
I fear he
pretty
may.
much
I fear he may be
Cleveland.
winning a starting job.
Yeah, I was
the
about to
rest
say,
of
I
the
fear
way.
he's already won the starting job.
I mean, next year.
But that's another thing that we said too. We just needed Jameis to get in, and it is kind of crazy how quick combo QB play can get you.
Is
in
It's
the right
crazy.
position,
It's
like,
crazy what not being afraid and being willing to chuck the fucking ball does
Yeah.
for you.
Just taking
'Cause-
shots.
Who's statistically the top 2 quarterback in the NFL right now?
statistically?
Yeah.
Who usually is?
No, who is right now?
The number 2.
And he's 1 or 2. I don't know what he is. He's missed
Probably Lamar. I would
in
think.
terms of not passing numbers. I don't think.
Oh,
It might be now, but he's missed 2 games already this year.
Somebody who would just let the shit fly? Baker?
No, but
Baker
he's
hasn't
he's
missed a game.
definitely
He's
up there.
I'm blanking.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
You got hurt
Jordan
again.
Jordan Love, yeah, but they say he's going to be good. Going into last week's games, I believe, tied for first with Baker for passing touchdowns with 15. Tied for first with Aaron Rodgers for interceptions with 7. This is what they said on PMT, so Big Cat said he is the next Brett Favre. Like, he's chucking dots. But there's something to throwing the fucking ball downfield on these guys. And I think part of it might be how everyone's playing this cover 2 nonsense now.
Right.
Chuck the fucking ball. Make a few plays.
Maybe a deep-
Make that guy make a play. Like, just because he's there doesn't mean he's going to fucking make the play all the time.
Right.
Make the guy make the play. All of the best successful quarterbacks attack you downfield. Got Rodgers throwing everything 3 yards past the line of scrimmage to the left and right. Hitting fucking guys in the back
Quick
of the head.
slants on every play.
Yeah.
at least.
Hitting dudes in the back of the head that aren't even looking.
So, because we were just talking about Jameis, Deshaun Watson has never thrown for 300 yards in his 19 games as a Cleveland Brown, or scored more than 18 points.
Crazy, right?
Jameis threw for 334 and 29 in his first start.
And 3 tutties, 0
And I-
interceptions.
And I will not lie, I did make the parlay, and I did I don't think I sent it to you, but I think I told you about
you
it.
needed the pick though. You didn't get the pick.
I had 250 passing, 2 touchdowns, and a pick for Jameis. And that one
Damn.
pick, if I got my one Jameis pick, I would have
He
cashed. But I
tried to
didn't.
spite the man on his day.
I didn't spite him.
And
I
then-
don't think 2 touchdowns and 250 passing is spiting.
After the game quoted one Marshall Mathers. You saw that?
He's great,
He's
dude.
my fucking
When he
favorite.
retires, he's easily getting on TV. It's not even a question. Some sort of personality role. He's
Not even TV. He'll be at Barstool.
I think
anything.
an actor.
He's so
He might be an
likable.
actor,
Yeah.
dude.
It's crazy.
He'll be at Barstool or The Ringer.
Dan
One
Hansen
on
is
two.
saying he's going to become a preacher.
He should.
That's
Do you know what I saw recently that gave me a good laugh, especially after the Browns win? The fucking video of him interviewing Fish on the boat.
I saw that too. Where are you going? Yeah.
Your cousin came too.
He's a
Just
great
flopping
guy.
around.
How about, I know we don't do baseball on this fucking show. Did you guys see the play from the World Series game
I
last
did, and
night?
I don't really understand. I mean, he
The
was going for the foul ball, obviously.
No, it was a
but-
home run.
Oh, it was a home run?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it was a home run. And the player was going to catch the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he grabbed the fucking mitt, pried the mitt open, tried grabbing the ball out of
Crazy.
the mitt. Threw him out of the game. He had tickets tonight. They refunded his tickets.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let him resell them. Just refunded them for face value. Banned from Yankee Stadium for life.
Damn.
You know who was boys with this man in college?
You?
No.
No?
No.
Who?
Rob Gronkowski.
Really?
Rob Gronkowski, he's like, yeah, no, that's the kind of kid he was as long as I've known him. Yeah,
Oh my god.
he's a maniac, dude.
He was
Why
on
would you
the
do that?
Arizona
People
club
get,
hockey team.
bro, Italianos get jazzed up for the Bronx Bombers.
But like,
The
You
Italians, there's a few things New York Italians love. It's their mother, it's sauce on Sunday, and it's the New York Yankees, dude.
I mean,
They fucking love their Yanks.
to think you can pry the guy called the ball. To think
Yeah.
you could pry the glove open and take it is
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Insanity, dude.
You
So-
lifted him up off the ground by his glove. Like, chill out, man.
So, since 1999, those who qualify, I don't know what the minimum is, but those who qualify on passing attempts since 1999, do we want to take a crack at who has the worst completion percentage of any quarterback since the year 99?
Jameis Winston.
No.
Those good guys.
Currently playing
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
No. Career, not for a season, career since 99. Worse than Jamarcus Russell,
Matt Stafford.
Anthony
Since
Richardson.
19.
Anthony Richardson.
41%
Oh, I was
completion
thinking of an
percentage.
older player. Gotcha.
Anthony Richardson has the worst completion percentage ever. I believe minimum 500 attempts since 99. It's worse than Jamarcus Russell. I believe it's worse than Ryan Leaf. And there
Wow.
was, yeah, it's about as bad as it gets. And Anthony Richardson is being benched in favor of Joe Flacco for simply no reason other than we believe Joe gives us the best chance to win games right now.
Yeah.
And I've been telling you guys.
There's just
for-
something about Flacco,
There's
man.
just something about Flacco, man. I just trust Flacco. I've been telling you guys for a while now. Anthony Richardson is not very good at football. He's got the rocket arm. He makes the crazy throws. He's got the legs. He can make the plays. First of all, he clearly don't got that canine in him. Tapping out. 3rd and goal in a fucking 3-point game with the game on the line. I'm tired, coach. I need to come out. That right then and there, that's worse than anything Zach Wilson's ever done with the New York Jets. Ever. That's worse than his comments that got him benched in his 2nd year. That's just completely, what's the word Stephen A. always likes to use?
Blasphemous.
Ostrich.
No, but those are both good Stephen A.isms, but not unfathomable, but it is. It's unacceptable. It's fucking unprofessional. I mean, we saw off air Pac-Man Jones ripping him up. Chase Daniel ripped him up on fucking Get Up or whatever show there. That's not Get Up. NFL Network,
not
maybe,
sure.
whatever. Chase Daniel lit him up. Everyone's lighting him up. And the dude is simply not good enough, not ready, doesn't have enough live reps. We discussed it between high school and the NFL. Going into this season, he had 17 total starts.
Yeah.
It's just simply not enough. This is a guy that struggled playing in the low half of the SEC the year before he came out. I didn't understand why he went 4th overall. I didn't think that kind of kid needed that kind of pressure. And, like, I don't want to keep beating this to death because we've talked about it, I think, 3 straight weeks now. But I think the rookie wage scale tricks people into thinking you need to win with a quarterback on a rookie deal. And it's just, I'm hoping we see a changing of the guard now this year where we get back to, like, letting kids develop and get those guys in their early to mid 30s starting and stop fucking, because there's a list that I forgot of all these quarterbacks, 1st-round quarterbacks since like 2018, and like most of them have been benched, cut, or traded. It's not, there's no way all of these guys are really good at the highest levels of college football and then they all just forget how to play football. There's no way Trevor Lawrence went from fucking God's chosen son for Clemson. They were saying if college football was a one and done sport, he could have left after his freshman season and been the 1st overall pick. There's no way that dude now forgot how to throw a football. The NFL has a quarterback development problem. But moving forward, it's not the end of Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis, but it is the end of Anthony Richardson this season. I don't understand why Flacco hasn't been a starter for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it does seem like every time he comes in, even on the Browns.
All the dude does is win. Like,
He's just an accurate passer. He just knows how to run an offense.
Played in the Super Bowl. Played on a very good Ravens team. You look like you're boiling over there.
I'm not really boiling. I'm about the opposite of boiling. I'm quite cold actually. You know.
It's cold.
I mean, you know what just popped into my head? The question of all time in the NFL, one that's been passed around. Some might even say around the horn. Is Joe Flacco elite?
It seems like
He
it.
was.
Oh.
He was elite.
Oh.
He was elite in his prime.
Do you become elite?
I mean,
I feel like elite
the
is a
problem
prestige
is like
thing.
if you were elite, you wouldn't be constantly getting 1 year, 5 year contracts to come be a mentor when you.
How
when
old
you
is
don't-
Joe Flacco?
He's 39, but fucking, that's if you're still playing and he comes to the Jets, he shows he can win. In a situation he wanted no part of being Zach
Yeah, but
Wilson's
Mike White
mentor.
also fucking.
He came to the Jets, he shows he could win. He goes to fucking Cleveland last year and shows he can win. He shows up now in Indianapolis. They're better off with him, winning more games with him than they are with Anthony Richardson. At a certain point, he might not be elite, but he's a top 20 starting NFL quarterback probably. He gets in, he starts. Look, there's something to be said about understanding the speed of the game, understanding the nuances of an offense, and knowing when you need to get the ball out and confidently fucking throwing it instead of second guessing yourself. You have all these kids that come in, it's the easiest one to do right now, but Darnold. Look at Sam Darnold. Did Sam Darnold just eat a Zenzu bean when he got to fucking Minnesota? Or did he leave, go play for another shitty team, struggle there, sit, watch Baker play for a little bit, get to sit and watch that team, and then get a shot again and then sit and watch, and then go work for fucking Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, who Brock Purdy is a bot, bro. That is just a Kyle Shanahan avatar on the field. Like, there's nothing special about him besides the fact that he wins and he does exactly what Kyle wants him to do. That's what makes Brock Purdy great. Sam Darnold comes in, gets to watch from behind the scenes, pick the brain of Shanahan and his entire coaching staff, watch it happen from the sideline of how a winning team and a winning offense does it. Then he gets a $10 million contract in Minnesota, and he's fucking lighting it up, especially early on in the year. But still, they're 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
He's lighting it up. He's playing confident offense, and all of a sudden, at 28, 29 years old, is he even that old? 27, however old he is
Somewhere
at this
around
point.
there.
All of a sudden, he went from seeing fucking ghosts on Monday Night Football with the Jets against the Patriots to being a quarter way through the season an MVP frontrunner. There's something about that. That's not just luck. That's not just catching something in a bottle. There's something to fucking sitting down and seeing it from an outside perspective instead of immediately getting thrown into the fucking pressure cooker and figure it out or you don't, kid. If you don't figure it out, everyone in this town's going to hate you. And it's going to say you suck, you were overhyped, da-da-da, this and that. And if you do figure it out, this is what you're supposed to do. We took you third overall.
Right.
There's something to fucking just taking a seat back, learning the game a little bit. I almost say, get rid of the rookie wage scale, go back to fucking, you get drafted, what do you want?
Right.
I know that the Raiders gave Jamarcus Russell $60 million and it didn't pan out. That's be better at scouting. Don't know what you want me to tell you. There's got to be something, because it can't just be... The Jets are probably looking at taking their third quarterback in the top 10 since 2018. That's a 6-year time span. Right?
Yeah.
7 maybe?
It will be.
It's not fucking... We can't just be doing this. Not just the Jets, the NFL in general. There's a quarterback development problem with the league, which is leading to the first time in a long time. I almost feel like I'd rather watch ball on Saturdays than Sundays at this point, because there is so much bad football being played in the NFL right now. Commanders-Bears was a fucking rock fight. The only reason we're talking about that game on Monday is because of the crazy ending and Tyreek Stevenson learning a lesson in karma.
Nuts.
Other than
What's
that,
going on there?
Other than that, that's a fucking rock fight. The Titans don't play compelling football ever.
The Patriots don't.
Patriots don't really. Like,
Jacksonville's very 50-50 on how it goes, it feels like.
the Chargers just beat the fucking brakes off of who'd they just smoke last week? Or 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was
They
2
versed
weeks
the
ago.
Panthers this week, but then
Yeah.
they... Before,
Panthers mailing it in.
And then a snooze fest before that when they versed the Cardinals on Monday night.
Panthers moved Deontay Johnson to the Ravens.
Good move for the Ravens, not gonna lie.
So here's how it gets
They're
better.
win now.
Here's how it gets better. So that trade was Deontay and a 6th round pick for a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens have to sign him. I don't know if he gets signed. I think the Ravens have to sign him to a contract that equals to AAV $5 million, which in the wide receiver market is nothing.
Yeah.
The Panthers got to send another sixth back.
Really?
Yeah. So
Panthers just stay.
yeah, anything to offload these guys, because it's obviously the player's fault. It's not the owner or the GM.
Right.
Or,
But yeah, Deontay moving to the Ravens is a huge move, an absolute huge move for that team. Zay Flowers is already great. You needed another decent route runner because you can't just have Rashad Bateman running streaks the whole time. But it even opens up Bateman now, if you think about it. Like it's Ravens feel like it was very much a win now.
They just keep getting scarier and scarier. Lamar Jackson well on his way to his third MVP at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just crazy that you can't find compelling football in Week 9 of the NFL.
I think defenses are catching up. I think it's been.
Well,
I've said this before, but it's just been so pass heavy for so long, and I think we were in the adjustment period for a very long time.
When we have guys like Jake Hayner, is that his name? The third stringer that's coming in for New Orleans at the end of the game, playing quarterback, and Mason Rudolph's out there giving it his best fucking shot.
QB
You know,
play is bad.
you got Brissett coming in and smoking the Jets at the end of the game. Like, there's not a lot of compelling quarterback play right now. People are turning on Trevor Lawrence, and now all of a sudden, it wasn't a mistake that the Jets wound up with Zach Wilson instead of Trevor Lawrence. That's a dumb take. I'm sorry. So, but another example, and then we'll move on and we'll get some fucking lines. Jordan fucking Love.
Yeah.
We just talked about him being statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He sat for 4 fucking years, and everyone mocked the Packers for it. Guy, it worked. If I'm the Packers, I'm okay with how it worked out.
It seems to be going fine.
And now the dumbass Jets got the Aaron Rodgers nightmare off of our hands. That's going to be 10, 15 years from now. Jordan Love's going to look spry and limber in his 20th season for the New York Jets, dude.
Run it back. Third time's a charm.
Unreal. If the Packers win the Super Bowl this year, that's going to be the formula, dude. Trade a Hall of Famer to the Jets, win a Super Bowl the next year.
Maybe that's what will happen. Maybe you'll end up with some.
That's what happened with Rodgers.
Team of Hall of Famers.
That's what happened with Rodgers, right? 2 years later, I think, 2010 he won. All right. I don't think there's anything else that we have to cover, right? I mean, the Giants, we briefly glossed
There's really
over.
not much to say. It's the same thing as always.
There ain't
Defense looks decent, but Daniel Jones, you just don't know.
There ain't much in terms of decent in the entire league right now. It's just, right now it's the middle of the season.
I know, I do feel like I went low on a lot of these spreads.
If you're not really feeling it, there's always the NBA.
Got a stylus over there?
I did hit on all of my bets this week except for one.
Sorry, I got cooked.
Really?
Yeah, because the
like
goddamn
to spend
Ravens.
too much.
Because the goddamn Ravens. There's 2 more right there. The Ravens fucked me. Not covering. And, the dumbass Chiefs.
Oh, I didn't even touch that
The
game.
Chiefs made the do not bet list for me for the rest of the year against the spread. I'm not doing it. Because they just fuck around. Yeah, we'll let them score. It doesn't matter to us. They can march right down the field. We're still up by 14. We're not trying to cover a 9-point spread or anything.
Because they're not.
Shitheads. Well, they should be. Alrighty. Guess the lines. Week 9. Tomorrow night, Halloween night. The Houston Texans are traveling to the Meadowlands, New Jersey, to Jet Life Stadium, where they will be hosted by the New York Not Yets. Believe it or not, I think there's something to be said about Vegas with teams that they still aren't really ready to give up on, that feel like they have their backs against the wall, even though I would argue they had their backs against the wall last week and they came out flat as ever against the Patriots. I have the Jets -1.5.
I took Houston -3.
I have the Jets -2. Not 2.
It's the Jets -1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
You had the Jets -2?
Yeah.
God damn.
All right, so I will say I did hear on something this week. I was like, the TV was on. I had whatever was going on. I did hear that the Jets were -2, so I said, let me just stick with that. Let's see if the line moves. If not, I can always forfeit the points if I win.
I don't even think I saw anything about it.
I heard it in limbo. It was like on when I had background noise on, and I was
just like the standard 1.5 for being the home team and a back against the wall deal, you know.
back against the wall. Back against the wall.
To the window, to the wall.
No.
Sunday, November 3rd. We're all coming off of our sugar rush from Halloween. Dallas Cowboys going to hot Atlanta, taking on Kirko Chains and the Atlanta Falcons. I got the Dirty Birds -2.5.
I went too high. I had -6.5.
I went tree, a little 3.5 for the Birds.
It
Dirty
is
Birds.
The Falcons -3.
You went 3.5. I went 2.5.
You fucking scumbag over here.
Tie goes to the handsomer one.
No. Mm-mm.
AFC East divisional matchup. The Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. I have Josh Allen's Buffalo Bills -5.5.
Oh, that's great. I have Buffalo -7.5.
I have them -4.5, and it's Bills -6. Damn, Hopkins, chill out.
God damn, bro. Hey, long game still. The Raiders, traveling to another team with their backs up against the wall. Cincinnati Bengals need to go, 8-2 the rest of the way to have a shot here. I have Cincy -3.5. Maybe that went too low.
I have 8.5 for Cincy. The Raiders suck.
-6.
The Raiders suck, but I just don't think Cincinnati's that good of a football team.
I have 6, and it's 7 for the Bengals.
Damn, really? What'd you have, Jack?
8.5.
Bryan, put him on the board. Los Angeles Superchargers going to Cleveland, take on Jameis Winston's fucking Cleveland Browns, and I have them -3.
But you have the Browns -3 at home.
Yeah.
I have the Chargers 2.5 on the road. I'm pretty sure they're above 750 on the road right now.
Chargers are a dog shit team.
I have the
franchise,
Chargers
but-
-2.
Really?
Yeah.
2.5, 2, and I have Cleveland -3.
And it's Chargers -1.5.
So
Fucking
Bryan,
god damn it.
it's an early favorite for Lizzie God. The Chargers suck, bro. They do not impress me at all. New England Patriots at Tennessee, Nissan Stadium. We're probably more excited about Vanderbilt football at this point in Nashville, but tie goes to the home team. Tennessee -1.
Same.
I made a pick 'em.
It's I'm sorry. It's the Titans -3.5.
No one gets a point.
Silly.
We both had -1, right?
Yeah.
And he had Pick'em. No one gets a point. That's fine.
Yeah. No one was even in the range.
The Joe Flacco-led Indianapolis Colts at Minnesota taking on the Vikings. Skull Vikings -3.5.
Vikings 6.5.
I have them -4, and it is -5 for the Vikings.
Jack keeps getting
Damn.
cocked by a half a point. And Bryan's making it a game here. Washington Seawards coming to JetLife Stadium to take on Big Blue, the New York Football Giants. I have the away team favored by 6.5.
I have them -5.
I have Washington -9.
It's Commanders -3.5.
So that's you, Bryan?
Yeah.
That's
Why?
That's a crazy spread.
Why?
You jump all over
Why?
that because the Giants are not good. Why is the spread so low?
I mean,
That's craziness. I guess
I didn't think about that either, but you are
divisional
right,
game.
Jack. Yeah. Maybe.
I can't wrap
What
my
does
head around
Vegas
that one
know?
either.
That we don't know.
I don't know. Maybe just shaky Washington, rookie quarterback. Giants front seven's okay. By the way, we glossed over the fact before that Dexter Lawrence is a nose tackle, and he's leading the NFL in sacks.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Do you know how fucking crazy that is?
He's a beast.
Sexy Dexy. New Orleans Saints, who potentially will be receiving Derek Carr back into the starting lineup. It will not be Jake Hayner or the other moron
Spencer Rattler.
or Taysom Hill running nonsensical throwbacks. Do you see that play?
Yeah.
And it is Carolina at home, who again are dog shit. And I scored this as if Carr's going to play because they probably see the light at the end of the there might still be a way to salvage this season for New Orleans if Derek can get back out there and get back on the horse. So I have them -6.
I have them -4.
I have -2 for the New Orleans Saints.
It's -7.5,
Yeah.
which I thought was high. But yeah, it makes sense.
We're setting the line as if Carr plays. You could always drop it when it comes closer to game time.
Right.
You don't want to get crushed on early money. Denver at Baltimore, and this is the one I worry I may have went too low on.
Me too.
But Denver, much like Cleveland, who just gave Baltimore a ton of problems, are ankle biters on defense.
Yeah.
And No, Bo still is in position to throw games away, but he hasn't done it late. Baltimore -4.5.
Same.
Baltimore -8.5.
It's 9.
There you go, Jack, on the
On
board.
the board, and it's 4 o'clock.
No, that's the last
No,
one.
that's the last one. You're good.
I know. And what's the score after 1 o'clock?
I have 5. Brian has 4. You have 1. There's plenty of potential bing bongs here to put you in the driver's seat.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's the great thing about the double points on the bing bong. Chicago Bears at Arizona, and this one truly was the hardest one for your boy to
Yeah.
fucking try to figure out. But I went with Cards -2.5.
I took a -3.
I got Cards by Quattro.
It's Cards -1.
I'll take that. Your boy.
He's the fucking
That one
Chicago
was
Bears.
hard. One Pride, Detroit Lions, the pride of Motor City, going to Lambeau Field, take on the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. Let's switch something up, Jack. What do you have?
4.
For who?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions -4. They're the away team. You said it was like it was matter of fact.
I didn't say it matter of fact. I said it pissed because I think that Vegas is tripping balls right now.
Okay.
I took a -5.
I have Detroit -2.5.
It is -3.5.
So Jack?
Jack is point. He had 4.
I have to bing bong in order to at least be in play.
You're
Yeah.
4 points behind me, and there's 3 games left. You need at least one bing bong to be in play, but that requires you to win out. Los Angeles Rams at Seattle. Give me the Rams -1.5.
I have the -3.5.
I have 4.5 for the Rams.
It's -1.5.
Bing bong. Sorry,
Fucking-
see you never.
I want to throw my clipboard, but I won't because I'm an adult.
So
Straight.
2 bing bong could force a tie, I believe, Brian. I think that's the
Alright.
only way we're making this
We'll
interesting.
see if it happens.
Yeah, you need 2 bing bongs. Jacksonville Jaguars at Philadelphia at the Link. I got the Birds -7.5.
I have the
I have the
-5.5.
Birds -7.5.
It's 7.5. You both got the fucking
Fucking
bing bong.
God damn it.
dude.
Wait, wouldn't that put Jack in a good position? Oh,
No.
No.
Now he's tied.
Almost.
You guys
Yeah.
can play. You guys are tied playing for second here.
All right.
Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Kansas City. I have the Chiefs -7.
I took the -4.5.
I got 6.
They're -8.5.
Smoking crack.
It's just
Vegas-
simply
no, no, no.
too high.
That's
No.
great. That is high.
No, this entire week. No, I have to say it. I have to. Vegas is smoking crack this week. If people do not beat the fucking book, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I've just been too sober for too long this week. I don't know. I don't.
That sounds like it could be the problem.
I think it might be. I think it definitely might be. I think the problem I'm having right now is that I feel like the big dick swing of the week is about to demolish the book, and I feel like I might run away with it. Maybe I'm on a power trip. I don't know what it
Someone
is.
says in an AA meeting. I think the problem is I've been too sober for too long.
Yeah. Not thinking correctly.
Something.
To quote Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no.
Something bad.
Not to quote Jay-Z.
I'll tell you off.
Okay.
Why am I? Give me a second. Hold on.
Are you good?
Why am I? I'm tripping for
Are
a
you
second. Give me
looking
a
for
second.
the
Not Jay-Z.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman?
No. I think it is Juicy J. I haven't seen it at all. 2020 Pyrex Vision.
That's Jay-Z.
That is Jay-Z. I'm trying to think of the hook beforehand. Is that
That's the
Juicy?
young, that's Young Jeezy.
That's
on
Young-
that
that's
song.
Jeezy.
Yeah. The song is called I Ain't Seen It All.
I've seen it all. I listened to it yesterday. I was trying to remember the hook.
2020 Pyrex Vision. Yes, I do know that song actually.
The real snowman.
The Real Snowman.
The only snowman.
Well, now listen. As Stitches famously once said, fuck Young Jeezy, I'm the real fucking
I forgot
snowman.
about him.
Yeah, how relevant is that guy?
He must have sold 1,000,000 dimes, bro. I must have sold 1,000,000 dimes. You never heard that?
No, I never
He
really
did it
listened
to
to
it. Oh, yeah. I was selling dope all the
I wonder
time.
what he's up to.
And
now.
I probably just like face covered in tattoos, just screaming
Yeah,
at
crazy
people.
Florida
Yeah, I
person.
don't know. He's shout out Stitches, dude.
Stitches is the riffraff of Chief Keefs.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see the vision?
I guess. He's just Stitches is Stitches, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Stitches is the Jameis Winston
He's like a comic book
of the rap game.
It feels like.
He's what?
He's like a comic book villain. For real.
He really is like the guy that answers to the Joker.
Yeah.
That Batman beats the shit out of very quickly. Yo,
He's a
boss.
henchman, essentially.
He's like the top henchman. Alright, I guess we could do some Thursday night nonsense.
I was gonna ask, do you want to talk about it?
I mean, yeah, Texans money line. What's the over under? Like,
Texans money line is probably where I'm going.
Texans money line. That's it. Done.
Texas money line.
Joe Mixon to score a
Joe
touchdown.
Mixon to score a touchdown. Yeah, for sure.
I'll fucking take.
Yeah, that's right. Diggs out for the
I'll
season.
take Damian Pierce to fucking score a touchdown.
So, over under is 42. Money line for Texans is plus 105.
Brian, you want to throw this together for me? Joe Mixon scored a touchdown. Texans money line, and no Nico Collins still, right?
No Nico Collins, no Stephon Diggs.
No Diggs, no Nico Collins.
So it's Sauce against Tank Dell.
Who's the fucking tight end that used to play for the Cowboys? Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, that fucking guy to score. Although I think Joe Mixon is the safe play. I'm sure he's probably minus one.
Dalton plus 300 to score.
Really?
Who was above him? A
Who's
bunch of
above
Jets
him?
players.
Conklin's the next man up. Mike Williams is 380. John Mechie, who is the number 2 technically right now, plus 400 to score.
That's the guy who beat
I know you make that face, but Sauce might be on Tank.
I just
You never know.
need to
not
see it.
tuberculosis. What did he?
Cancer.
He
He
beat
had
cancer.
yeah.
Dropped him.
I might
in
drop a
Dynasty,
little
that's
money on
sad.
Mechie just to catch one. Because I just kind of feel like a lot of the times I bet on anytime touchdowns on a primetime game, it's not the stars. Who
What's
catch it.
Mixon
It's
for
always
Dose?
the random 3.
Yeah, it's
Like-
always like the number 3 tight
Yeah,
end or the fullback. Or
Sunday
they,
slate, don't get me wrong, the
they
guys
line-
are going to score, but
they lined up a defensive tackle at fullback and handed it
Right.
to him like the Bears did, and then he fumbled and then almost went back to the crib. Did you see that play?
I did.
On the
Yeah.
goal line?
don't know why they
What's
ran that
Mixon for
play.
Dose?
Mixon for Dose is plus 400.
Texans money line. Mixon for Dose.
What scares me
It's
and-
plus 550.
Okay, bingo.
What scares me, and I know it's crazy to even say it at this point, especially with the Jets who suck against the run this year. Mixon scored a touchdown in each of the last 5 games, so it's like eventually
It's going to...
he's not a 19 touchdown guy, right? Like eventually you feel like, but I feel confident with him to at least get one against the Jets because they are, like I said, horrendous at stopping. the run.
Counterpoint.
Which is crazy, because last year
What?
they were so good.
Counterpoint. Is Raheem Mostert 19 touchdown guy?
It's a good point.
Who led the league in touchdowns last year?
Mostert as a goal line vulture, yeah.
Okay.
That is true. He wasn't an every down back like on
But
this
also,
team.
A-Chain missed significant time too. I get what you're saying. I get it.
No, you're
No,
right.
I don't think that
Is David Montgomery a 20 touchdown
yes,
guy?
yes, he is.
Yeah.
Why?
He is because first of all, the rate of their offense, their offensive rate is through the roof.
It's a
And-
different story.
They get him touches inside the 10 early and often. They do with Monty, with Knuckles, what the Jets should be doing with Braylon Allen every time they get inside the 5-yard line. They'll give him the ball twice out of 3 fucking downs. You know? They make a point to get Monty in the end zone early. That's why. You make the same... The fucking idiot who's on the Saints now, I say idiot, I love him. He's a great dude. Jamal
Williams.
Same thing. He only touched the ball inside the 20.
And again, another thing, why is Jamal Williams not getting run?
Because Lamar is still pretty good.
It's because of Taysom Hill.
Oh, yeah, Taysom Hill.
It's always Taysom Hill's fault. It's just, Olave didn't get enough targets. It's Taysom Hill's
Sean
fault.
Payton's
Kamara
fucking
didn't
goon
score.
still getting paid in the league for no reason on that bullshit fucking 5-year voidable contract. Drives me insane. He'll be a Bronco in 2 years.
Fantasy owners and anytime touchdown scoring prop bet people fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
I hate him. I do. Yeah, no, I do think against the Jets it makes sense for Mixon to at least get one.
You're good.
But I do think eventually the well's going to run dry on Joe Mixon. Like, how many consecutive games is he going to
I see the script. It's a 75-yard, 7-play drive, 8-play drive. Mixon bangs it into the end zone. And then halfway through the game, it probably at the end of the second quarter, or even in the middle of the third and switching over to the fourth, they get fucking beat by Tank Dell or John Mechie on a 30-yard pass, and they bang it in with Mixon again. It's the game script is written. It's in the fucking stars. I can see it. I didn't see it all.
I see it all like I'm John Mayer's penis hole.
Wild.
That's a deep
Shout
cut,
out,
dude.
Shout out CG.
That's a deep fucking cut.
Can you do me a favor, Brian? Do they have alternate game markets on there?
What are you looking
Alternate
for?
spreads?
Yeah, you could switch up the spread. Yeah, alternate
Yeah,
spread.
cool. What's Houston minus 6.5?
Oh, God. Plus 330, 335.
Plus 245.
Ooh.
It's close.
Give me that. I'll take
Minus
Houston.
6.5.
I was gonna
minus
say,
6.5.
give me Houston 4.5.
4.5 is. Where do we go? Plus 185.
I think I would do Houston minus 6.5 and Joe Mixon just for Uno.
Does 5 break 200? Minus 5.
197. So.
We might be
Then if
cooking
you're
with
gonna,
these
then
alt
if you're gonna,
lines.
then if you're
Plus
gonna come to 6,
345
you
for
might as well just come to 6.5.
Texans.
No. I would stay at 5. I think the Texans have been living around that 4.5, 5 number on the book this entire year. I think if you use the test to take the test, you put them there. What do the Jets fucking have at this point? The defense either shows up or fucking
A
doesn't.
lack of self-respect.
Yes, dignity.
Not
A quarterback, a running back inside the numbers who can
Not-
fucking
not
run.
my several $100s for potentially have going to the game tomorrow. Had they beaten those dumb assholes, we'd
We
be
would
going
be
to
going.
the game tomorrow.
At least you found out then.
Yeah.
And not on Thursday night when you drove out to MetLife.
I'd much rather go see like a Knicks NBA Cup game on a Friday night in the Garden.
Yeah, that was honestly a big move by you guys.
Not going?
Yeah, and then just using that to fucking go
Yeah.
to a Knicks game.
Yeah, well, you know what? A team
It
with
wouldn't
self-respect
quite be
is better.
using that. It wouldn't quite be using that because the Garden is the Garden and the Knicks are the Knicks and the Jets are the fucking Jets. And before the Patriots lost, the get-in price for the game through StubHub was $25 before taxes and fees. We're not getting in a Knicks game on Friday night for $25.
True.
But it'll be, transfer the funds over, get tickets, go to the Knicks
It's an
game.
acquirable asset.
I don't got to worry about driving or being fucking hungover or tired at work the next day. We take the train right into Penn, do a little suck down on the train,
You could suck down in Penn. You could suck down on the train. You could suck down in MSG if
Could
you
suck
want
down at the
to.
Garden if you want to spend $22 on a beer.
I would suck
That's what it
down
was
one.
at MetLife
You know.
This weekend, Jesus.
Yeah, it's too expensive to drink in the arena.
No.
But at least going to Penn Station, you can crush it.
Right.
Just murder it. Can't murder it while you're driving down fucking I-9. Or not 9, I guess that's New Jersey 9.
what's that? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not Interstate 9, it's New Jersey Route 9. But anyway, I digress. That's fucking Houston minus 6.5. The Jets are awful. I like Joe Mixon to get in anytime.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it together just so that way I actually know the
Just
odds.
take Houston's money line. Just leave it at that. Maybe
I
put
mean-
like John Mechie separately.
That is the safe bet, and I'm all there for it. But at this point, if you're not betting against the Jets, or where are you fucking really gonna find the money to beat the book?
Yeah, it's time to finally turn the page on Old Reliable, the most successful gambling strategy in the NFL. Always bet against the Jets.
Your
That-
wife might never fuck you sometimes when you get to that age, but the Jets will always fuck you.
Yeah. When I die,
292. Parlay together.
When I die, I want Mark Sanchez, Curtis Martin, Chad Pennington, Darrell Revis, Sauce Gardner, and Aaron Rodgers to be the pallbearers at my funeral, so that way they can let me down one final time.
Just a bunch of Jets guys.
Bunch of Jets players I got a little excited for. They kicked me right in my nuts, but I deserved it.
Aaron Rodgers will never be a Jet to me. He'll always be a Packer. This fucking shit show, I will never forgive.
Ayahuasca
Ever.
Aaron.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca Aaron. It was a big failure.
I still own you, Aaron, and Ayahuasca Aaron are not the same person.
Not AA Ron, not discount double check Aaron.
No.
Ayahuasca Aaron.
This is fucking discount dollar store Aaron is what we got. We're brought to you by House of Heaven Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Justin Shop Shop of West End, The Beach, and the Riches, and Dino Skate Tour. Peace out.
Fuck you, Woody. Stay tuned.